You spent big on a powerful graphics card, so why do new games still stutter, with textures that load in all blurry? The chip isn't the problem. It's a number almost nobody explains, VRAM. And by the end, I'll tell you exactly how many gigabytes to buy in 2026. What VRAM actually is. So first, what even is VRAM? It's your graphics card's own private memory, separate from your computer's normal RAM. Think of it as the GPU's personal workbench. It's where the card lays out all the art for the scene it's drawing right now. The characters, the whole world, and the textures. Textures are just the surface skins painted onto everything, like the brick on a wall or the fabric on a jacket. And here's the secret to this entire video. VRAM isn't a dial where more equals faster. It's a threshold. Have enough, and everything runs smooth. Come up even a little short, and performance falls off a cliff. Stutters, textures popping in late. That's because the GPU has to dump the overflow into your much slower system memory. And having way more than you need, that does nothing for your frames. One more quick word, since you'll hear it a lot today. Resolution. When I say 1080p, 1440p, or 4K, that's just how sharp your screen is. From standard HD up to super crisp 4K. Keep those two ideas in your head, and every number today makes sense. Let's start at the very bottom. 2 gigabytes, the e-waste tier. 2 gigabytes. Let's not sugarcoat it. In 2026, this is basically e-waste. You'll find it on ancient cards like the GT 1030. 10 years ago, it was fine. Today, modern games assume you have way more, so textures refuse to load, you get blurry placeholder blobs, and the stutter never stops. What's it actually good for? Honestly, displaying your desktop. That's about it. So if 2 gigabytes is the bottom of the trash heap, where does actually playable even begin? 4 gigabytes, the last leg's floor. 4 gigabytes. Back around 2019, this was the budget sweet spot, on cards like the GTX 1650. Today, it's the absolute floor, and it's on life support. A big new game like Starfield or Hogwarts Legacy will technically launch and then smack straight into a wall. It quietly downgrades your textures, and objects keep popping into view late because the card couldn't load them in time. It's okay for older games and light esports. Those competitive online games like Valorant, at 1080p on medium, but anything from the last couple of years, you'll spend more time fighting settings than playing. So let's jump to the amount that once ruled 1080p gaming. 6 gigabytes, living on borrowed time. Next up, 6 gigs. Cards like the RTX 2060 were the kings of 1080p around 2019 to 2021. Today, they're living on borrowed time. You can still play at 1080p if you stick to high instead of ultra. But ray tracing, off the table. And those frame boosting features like DLSS eat extra VRAM that 6 gigabytes just can't spare. Quick note, if terms like ray tracing and DLSS are new to you, I break every one of them down in my every GPU feature explained in 11 minutes video. So I won't slow down here. Just know they need more memory. It works, for now. But it went from perfect to cramped shockingly fast. Okay, that's the dead and dying zone. Now for the part 90% of you are actually stuck choosing between. 8 gigabytes, the battleground. 8 gigabytes. Okay, deep breath, because this is the single most argued about number in all of PC gaming. You'll find it on genuinely strong cards, the RTX 3070, the 4060, even some budget new cards today. At 1080p, it mostly cruises along, but push to 1440p with everything maxed, and it slams into the ceiling. Cyberpunk 2077 with path tracing, ray tracing's even heavier cousin, can eat 10 to 12 gigabytes at 1440p. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle hits around 11 on Ultra. And here's the part that drives people up the wall. A card like the 3070 has loads of raw power, but it runs out of VRAM before it runs out of muscle. That's the cliff right there. A fast chip choking on a full workbench. Reviewers now widely treat 8 gigabytes as done for big new games. Quick one for you. How many gigs does your card have? Drop it in the comments, I'm genuinely curious. So if 8 gigabytes is the danger zone, what number is actually safe? Well, that depends on one thing almost nobody thinks about. The real question, your resolution. Well, here's the thing nobody tells you. There is no single enough. It all depends on your resolution. The exact same game sips VRAM at 1080p, drinks more at 1440p, and absolutely gulps it at 4K. More pixels and bigger textures just need a bigger workbench. And two settings crank the demand up hardest: texture quality and ray tracing, which can pile on another 2 to 5 gigabytes all by itself. So the real question was never, how much VRAM is enough? It's enough for my resolution and my settings. Keep that in mind as we climb. So let's find your number, starting with the size most people should actually buy. 12 gigabytes, the sensible floor. 12 gigabytes. This is where modern gaming finally exhales. You'll get it on cards like the RTX 4070 and the 3060. At 1080p, it's honestly overkill. At 1440p, you can max out settings without breaking a sweat. And at 4K, plenty of games run great on high. A lot of new AAA titles, those are the big budget blockbuster games, now literally recommend 12 gigabytes for their best looking textures. For most people building a PC in 2026, this is the sensible floor, enough to stay comfortable for a good few years. But 12 gigabytes is really all about gaming. What if you're pushing 4K, or you also make stuff? 16 gigabytes, the sweet spot. 16 gigabytes. This is the sweet spot, where gaming quietly meets real work. Cards like the RTX 5080 and the RX 7800 XT carry it. And suddenly, the limits just vanish. 4K, everything maxed, ray tracing on, smooth. Giant texture packs and high-res mods don't even make it flinch. It also opens a whole second door, editing 4K video, running Blender scenes, or gaming while you stream with OBS, Discord, and 100 browser tabs open. It's only overkill if you truly just play 1080p esports. For everyone else who wants 5+ years out of one card, this is the smart pick. For gamers, honestly, 16 gigabytes handles just about everything. Above this, you're stepping into the pros world. 24 gigabytes, the creator tier. 24 gigabytes. Now we're into cards like the RTX 4090, and the new 5090 pushes even higher, to 32. For pure gaming, overkill. Remember, extra VRAM past what you need does nothing for your frames, but for creators, it's paradise. Editing 8K footage, rendering massive 3D scenes in Blender, no crashes, no ceiling. So if your GPU pays your bills, wonderful. If you just game, save the cash. Is there anything even bigger, and who on earth needs it? 48 gigabytes and up, the workstation tier. 48 gigabytes and up. These are workstation cards, like the RTX 6000 Ada. Think $7,000, with special error-correcting memory, built for rock-solid stability. They're not gaming cards at all. They're for VFX studios, science labs, and training big AI models. For gaming, they do exactly nothing extra. Not one prettier pixel, not one more frame. Honestly, the best advice I can give you is this. If you're eyeing this tier and you don't already know exactly why you need it, you don't. So, you've met all 8. The real question is, how many gigs should you buy? The cheat sheet. Here's the cheat sheet I promised. If you only play 1080p esports, like Valorant, CS2, or League, 8 gigabytes is genuinely fine. Don't pay for more than that. If you play modern AAA games at 1080p or 1440p, get 12 gigabytes. That's the sensible floor for a new build. If you game at 4K, or you love turning on ray tracing, 16 gigabytes. If you game and also stream or edit, and you want the card to last 5+ years, again, 16 gigabytes. If you're a serious creator, doing 4K or 8K video, heavy 3D or AI work, 24 gigabytes and up. And if you run a professional studio, you already know you're in 48 gigabytes territory. One quick trick to find your own number. Open a game you actually play and turn on a VRAM overlay. MSI Afterburner does this. Run it at your real resolution and watch how much it uses. Add a little breathing room, and that's your target. My honest take? In 2026, don't buy a new 8 gigabyte card for AAA gaming. It'll hit that wall within a year or two. 12 gigabytes is the floor, 16 gigabytes is the smart buy. And if you're ever torn between two sizes, go higher. Because VRAM is soldered right onto the card, you can't add more later, like you can with normal RAM. So that's the whole story. VRAM is your GPU's workbench. Enough and you glide. A little short and you fall off a cliff. Way more than you need, and you just overpaid. Match it to your resolution, and you'll never have to guess again. If this finally cleared it up, tap that like button and subscribe for more tech in plain English. And if you want to know what actually eats all that VRAM, ray tracing, DLSS, all of it, My every GPU feature explained in 11 minutes video breaks down every one. Go watch it next. Okay,